he couldn't go on field trips because they didn't want to be bothered with the child in the wheelchair. They said they didn't have an accessible building for him to go to. DC Public Schools let him sit home for 7.5 months. They call themselves sending an homeschool instructor who came 1 day a week for an hour a day. So his education for 7 months was reduced to 1 hour a week.
Things weren't going right the way they should have been going. They wanted to turn him over to Child Protective Services, and I knew that I couldn't do that, and they would risk all of them being separated.
Moses had a hard time at Derry School. He was not learning, wasn't sitting still, you know, getting in trouble, getting suspended a lot.
The old school, I didn't like it because I've been there too long, and I didn't like the teachers.
There was a time that children weren't entitled to lawyers at all. There was no funding, and children were just adrift.
The Children's Law Center plays an incredibly important role in making sure that children in our city are protected.
The Children's Law Center helps at-risk children in the District of Columbia. We believe that every child has the right to a safe home, a good and meaningful education, and a chance to be healthy, both in their minds and their bodies.
The Children's Law Center is a gem. It is just a wonderful resource.
The Children's Law Center has 70 full-time staff. We have 46 lawyers, 11 investigators, and other staff to help out make sure that we can represent 1,200 children every year.
We have a huge pro bono program. In fact, last year we had over 20,000 hours donated in legal service hours.
There's a need to take what we've learned from those cases and apply them more broadly to policy change so that we're affecting the whole community rather than just the children and families we're able to represent. And I think the direct case work and the policy work really complement each other very well.
Our job is to actually represent that child's best interest. There's really nobody who's looking out for that individual child but their lawyer.
One client of mine who was 5 years old at the time I met him. This was a child who, at the time that I met him in the hospital, had bruises and marks and broken bones, literally from the top of his head down to his toenails, which were bruised. And he was getting beaten for stealing food from the caretakers. And I came home that night, my wife asked me how my day was, and I sat down on the sofa and I put my head in my hands and I just sobbed. I sobbed.
Now that I work in a center where I have on-site attorneys to assist with educational, housing needs of these children, I think that I actually am providing a phenomenal service.
A recent case that was referred to us by Children's National Medical Center was a single mom of 3 children with very severe asthma. The conditions in the home were horrible. They had mold-covered walls, mold-covered carpet, and they had rodent infestation. The mom tried for almost a year to get these conditions remedied, to no avail. Within 3 weeks of our lawyer getting on the case, the landlord did what was legally required. The house is now rodent-free and mold-free, and the kids are healthy.
It took actually the lawyers dealing with his doctors to actually get everything that he needed. So they knew just as much as a doctor would know about what's going on with Kyle, and they knew what to ask for, what he actually needed, and they made sure that he got it.
We help represent adult caregivers and help the children in turn to have forever families through adoption, guardianship, or custody.
The process is daunting. I mean, it really is. The whole adoption process is daunting. Anika seemed to know how to navigate the system, and that was by far the best thing.
You know, let's fight to get the child in a placement with people who love them, to give them some stability.
I love being a dad. It's very, very busy. It's very active. I'm a single parent, so it's a lot of work. I am so thrilled to have my forever family, as we refer to ourselves.
With every case the Children's Law Center takes, they're helping not only that one child or those 2 children involved in that case, but they're helping the entire family, and they're helping the people that those children are going to come in contact with in the future, because those children now have a more positive life outlook.
Yes, the Law Center has helped me all my children's education, all my housing.
Then I told Laura to get me into a different school, and she said, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna work on it, but you gotta work on it too, and do good." So I tried for a minute, and then she got me in the school that I wanted her to get me in, and she got me into a new school.
And they tell me he's doing great. His grades are nice. He get good grades. He does what he's told. He's learning. He's happy, and the most important thing, he goes.
The Children's Law Center found the evidence to prove DC Public Schools wrong and to actually make them do what they should have been doing all along. He was making D's and F's, and now he's an AB student, and he's more outgoing. His reading has jumped 3 or 4 grade levels, and his independence in dealing with his physical disabilities has also greatly improved because of the services that he now receives thanks to the Children's Law Center.
People can help the Children's Law Center first by opening up their checkbooks, because at the end of the day, every cause, every issue has to be financed.
People can work for the Children's Law Center as members of the staff. They can do work for the Children's Law Center as pro bono lawyers when they are in a law firm. They can help the Children's Law Center by donating funding and getting their law firms to make gifts to the Children's Law Center as well.
It means making an investment not only in the future of my clients who I adore, but also a future for my kids.
The legal assistance that I got was equivalent to a Wall Street law firm.
I would thank them because I actually have a chance of maybe even going to college or a trade school now.
Without the Law Center, I don't know where I would be. I'd probably be back out there on drugs and not kin because I just didn't know how. But today, I'm 14 years clean, and I just don't know what I'd do without the Law Center.
Oh, the Law Center's all, ooh, Lord, that's my baby there. Can't leave, no. Y'all had to kick me out, no, I can't leave the Law Center, Can't leave the Law Center.
I thank the Children's Law Center for getting me into the proper school so I can actually learn and actually have a chance to do something besides maybe having other people help me, and I can actually do something for myself.
What do you think you want to do?
Maybe a sports broad. I would be a sports broadcaster, or I would maybe a chef or something.
Would you be a lawyer?
Maybe. I don't know.